Hello everyone, welcome back to Tartan Samurai Gaming. Today it's another first time playthrough. I'm playing Robocop 2, the arcade game from 1991 based on the 1990 movie. So let's get into it. So this is a platform shooting game and it's got an interesting mechanic from what I've been reading in that you have to press different buttons to shoot forward and backward. So you press your ordinary attack to walk forward, but then you can also press a different button to shoot behind you. So kind of an interesting dynamic there. And you can jump as well, but the jump is limited. It's not really something you'll be using a lot in this game. Nice how Robocop assumes that kind of iconic stance when he's shooting behind him. When you have these little front shooting sections as well, kind of reminiscent of if you ever played the Dick Tracy game on the consoles back in the day. It had sections like this as well. So with that clear, we can now move on. Here, Robocop got knocked over quite badly there, but we're okay. Thankfully there's a life boost here. You'll notice as well that if you get up close to bad guys, you can punch them as well, so that's handy. So at this point we want to try and force back the car, and we do that by wiggling the joystick back and forward as well as hitting the button as shown on screen. And eventually you'll crush this guy's car. This is of course recreating the opening scene of the movie where rioters have stormed a gun shop and killed the owner and etc. And Robocop was in to sort it out. And we get to use an assault rifle for a short moment of time here. Although it shoots fireballs for some bizarre reason. I think that's actually meant to be the Cobra assault cannon, which was featured in the first movie. So our first boss here is a chainsaw wielding lunatic with body armour. But we can handle him. T here is just to keep shooting. So the little pink bar at the bottom of the screen is his energy. You can see as every time he flashes red it ebbs away ever so slightly. Almost got him. He does like to deflect bullets with that chainsaw though. And he's down. So the first level is cleared. Nice little voice clip of Robocop there. So section 1 is cleared, now on to the next area. So Robocop is going after the drug known as Nuke, which played quite a big part in the plot of the second film. So we have to go into the Nuke factory in mission 2. Data East arcade machines here, a reference to the creators of the game. Of course, Data East also made the Captain America and the Avengers game about the same time, which we played through on the channel a while ago. This is quite a different game though. Definitely leans much more into the plot of the film, whereas that was just a sort of a nondescript comic game which didn't really follow any particular story or anything like that, but it was good fun. These little Hulk Hogan lookalikes are quite tough. Extra energy there. And once again, the Cobra assault cannon, state of the art, bang bang, you know how it goes. I do like the fact though that for most of this game you are using Robocop's handgun, which is how it should be. That's how he operates for most of the movies anyway. Yeah, you're going down, brother. I think he's actually wearing a yellow bandana, it's just the graphics make it look a bit like Hulk Hogan. So this is the boss, who was not in the film, but you know, it's a video game, we do have to have some liberties with the plot, I suppose. So this is basically one of the gang members, but he's in like a cybernetically enhanced suit in order to fight Robocop one-on-one. And I actually find this boss feels a bit, well, quite a step up in difficulty from the first boss. As you can see, I've already lost a life to him. The first boss had a very predictable attacks that were quite slow and easy to read, whereas this guy can jump across the screen almost in an instant, so gotta tread carefully here. I say, I love that stance Robocop takes when he's firing the gun. That really is quite one of the iconic elements of the character, I think, is that stance where he has one hand raised while he fires his gun with the other. Yeah, Peter Weller really did embody that character so well. Okay, so he's down, and now the guy's doing a runner. Now we're going to chase that truck down. So Sector 2 is clear, but now we've got a little bonus level where we've got to chase down Kane, the leader of the nuke cult. So pretty simple here. Run along the roads and shoot everything that you see. Gets a little manic as we move forward. But you notice that the explosive sound there is a reused sound effect from the Captain America game, actually. I managed to hit 65%, that's not bad. Now a recreation of the scene from the movie, where Kane, you think, has met his end, but of course it's a bit more complicated than that. Robocop flies in, the truck crashes, but Kane's brain was preserved. Meanwhile, Robocop, thinking that Kane is dead, is going to investigate a drug deal. tell from the somewhat ominous music, all is not well. There's another shooting section here. We played the Terminator 2 arcade game recently, and that was fun, but it would have been nice if you could have had something like this where you can actually move your character in order to dodge the bullets. I think that would make it a bit more interesting than just a regular light gun game. Fast moving these machine guns, but we've got them. Now Robocop can march on. We got some zombie type things here. I think they're supposed to have been guys who were affected by toxic waste, kind of reminiscent of what happens to the character Emil in the first Robocop movie. That was one of the most satisfying deaths for a bad guy in a movie, I have to say. Okay. Oh, Robocop's been captured, got to hit buttons to get out. And we're out just in time to pick up the Cobra assault cannon. That only had one shot in it, unfortunately. I think you just want to get up close and punch these guys. Oh dear. Right, we're down. We're down a continue, but that's okay. Okay. Here's our boss. But one shot puts him into the toxic waste. And we've got a mutant on our hands. Quite an aggressive one at that. Yeah, Robocop's slow movement is a bit of a handicap here when you've got an enemy who can cross the screen in a split second. Oh yeah, Robocop can throw bad guys if he gets up close to them, that's another benefit. Although it does seem to be somewhat random whether you throw or punch the bad guy. And he's down. Okay. Love that gun twirl. I used to spend ages as a wee boy trying to do that with my toy gun, and I could never do it right without hurting my fingers. Okay. So now Robocop's getting the lowdown on Robocop 2. Now we're heading into OCP to see what the hell is going on. The music at this point starts to become kind of reminiscent of the Captain America game as well. It's got that kind of slightly heroic tone to it. So if these things, just get up close and slam them. Don't waste time trying to shoot them. It's just quicker to just slam each of them twice. There we go. And now we got a fight with Ed 209. And this is one of the few parts of the game where you're going to have to jump, because you have to jump and shoot him, because ordinary ground shots won't do any damage. And there's a nice little nod. You can see in the background there's a statue of Robocop, and behind him, two of the failed concepts from Robocop 2, which you saw in the opening of the movie Robocop 2, where the OCP tried numerous times and failed to recreate Robocop. And Ed 209 is down. Some extra life there for us, which is very useful. Now we move into the next part of the factory. Oh, we've got some robots to contend with here, but we've got a grenade launcher. Well, we had a grenade launcher. Again, with these things, you just want to get up and slam them. It's just quicker that way. Oop. These guys in the what look like astronaut suits, you can shoot them, but depending on how you're feeling, it might be easier to try and get close and punch them. Okay. And it's that gaming trope where a previously defeated boss comes back as a sub-boss. Don't know if this ever got like a home version on the NES, whatever. I know it didn't get a Mega Drive or Super Nintendo game, because those started with Robocop 3 and then Robocop vs Terminator. I think Robocop 2, the film, came out just a little bit too early to get a good 16-bit port, which is what you would have needed to replicate these kind of graphics, I think. Because for its time, these graphics are excellent. It really, there's no mistaking that as Robocop. Although, interestingly enough, I noticed that his visor has more of a red shade to it, which is more reminiscent of the cartoon Robocop rather than the movies, where it was a much darker colour. So, I guess the sprite is being modelled more on the action figure than the actual movie character. Now we have to fight a gun. So unlike the other bosses, this one you just want to keep your distance and just keep shooting. As you can see, it takes a bit of time, but we are wearing him down. One major plus for this over Robocop vs Terminator is that bosses actually have energy bars, so you know how well you're doing. Okay. Main turret has been damaged, so I'm guessing he's going to start lobbing grenades now, yep. Nice if we could take this guy out before we drop another continue. Oh, notice the crate in the background as a sort of a... just to let you know the game was made in Japan, Omni is spelt wrong. It says Omuni as opposed to O-M-N-I is how it should be spelled, but it's O-M-U-N-I there, because that is how it would be pronounced in Japanese. Not the Japanese people's fault, they obviously got bad info from the Americans who were liaising with them and making the game. But it happens. A lot of these games that are made in Japan and based on American franchises have various spelling mistakes in them. At least the storyline is on point. So now we've got to head to the Civic Centre. Stop Kane. Before we get there, we've got to deal with these guys. I think it's good that these are only bonus stages, because if you had to pass these stages in order to continue the game, it would be quite frustrating, I think. Because The controls aren't the best here. It's a bit unresponsive, but you know, it's alright. Like I say, it's a fun distraction, but that's all it should be. If this was a key point of the game, I would be quite annoyed about it, I think. Okay, so now we got over 50%, that's not bad, considering. First time playing it. Right. Okay, so time to go and confront Kane. Something tells me this isn't going to be the last boss, so that would just be too simple. That's a very accurate recreation of the scene in the film, I'll say that much. The Robocop 2 sprite is on point. So again, it's a jumping thing, same as Ed 209. Yeah, this is far too easy to be a last boss, let's be honest. This is just a warm-up. Okay, so he's now doing a runner. We're going to have to follow. Now we've got some other enemies to deal with in the meantime. So we just want to slam them. Again, gonna have to jump and shoot, I guess. Oh dear. Oh, that's nasty. Aggressive. But yeah, as I said before, that first battle seemed far too easy. I guess we're getting the full Robocop 2 experience now. Basic principle is the same though, keep your distance and keep firing. It's that spinning arm attack that worries me because that seems to be very difficult to avoid. A bit like Kingpin's shoulder barge in the Spider-Man game we played yesterday. Alright, so you can dodge it if you're quick enough. Yeah, this is definitely the same composers that did the Captain America game. That music is very similar. No bad thing though. See, Robocop 2 is a strange film overall. See, if you watch it as just an action film, it's quite good. You know, it's got plenty in it, but the problem is that for me, Robocop 1 is one of the best satires ever made. So I expect satire when I watch Robocop, and there is some satire in Robocop 2, but it's far too heavy-handed with it. And a lot of the violence just feels kind of unnecessarily gory and mean-spirited, you know. But still, you know, I don't think it's as bad a film as people make it out to be. It's just that the first film is such an absolute masterpiece. You know, and definitely in my top 5 films of all time. Hence why I'm playing so many Robocop games on the channel. Yeah, it's a shame that the second movie, just the approach didn't quite work, I don't think. I see what they were going for. They thought, okay, we've got to up the action and up the threat and up the violence for the second movie, but really they should have stuck to the you know, nailing down the satirical aspects and the script, because that was what made the first movie so good. But anyway, we've got a boss battle to win here, so let's get on with it. actually feels slightly easier than the previous Robocop 2 fight because he's using those targeted grenades more than he is his spinning attack. Oh, right, we've taken out the grenade launcher. Oh, yeah, I remember this part from the film. So, this will probably be the final battle, if it's following the same plot as the movie. Yep, there's Kane. Time to take him out. Oh, we can turn about 180, that's... Ah, he's using the spinning arm attack again. Okay. Well, I guess we're gonna have to go through the full gamut of his moves here to beat him. That's only fair. That's how last bosses are supposed to work, I suppose. Oh, right, his wee electronic arm has been blown off. I like the way that he's taking damage throughout the fight. That's kind of more realistic. You know, different bits getting blown off of him, and then he starts using other attacks in response. Yeah, I like that. Good game, this. Fun. And again, it's got a bit of variety in it. Like I was saying with Spider-Man yesterday, you know, having more than just the generic platform shooting, fighting, whatever. You need little other elements to make the game a bit more interesting. And you know, with the bonus stages and the those occasional shooting into the background stages, yeah, this game does it. Right, we're almost done here. Come on. That's it. I think he's down. Oh, and he's actually going to smash the brain. There we go. Yeah. Well done, Robocop. I'm going to assume there's a mistranslation here because that text there didn't really make much sense. Oh, nice imagery from the movie. So, that was Robocop 2, the arcade game. Hope you enjoyed that. So be sure to check back again soon. Retro gaming playthroughs uploaded every single day here on Tartan Samurai Gaming. Thank you for watching. I will see you next time.